Hi there. Welcome to public speaking class of whatever year you're in right now. You might be wondering, who am I that's talking to you, the students, and giving you this video? Well, I am a past student of Mr. Buckley. He is going to be your public speaking teacher for this year, but he probably already explained that by now. Um, but let's move on. This video is going to explain 4 things that students tend to screw up on when giving their speeches in public speaking. These will help you get better grades and get those extra bumps when when you really need them. These are also mistakes students tend to do that ruin their grade or just hurt their grade a little bit. So if you can, you should try practicing these techniques as you go. Let's begin the video, shall we? We can't stress enough that leaning is a problem, same as moving. A lot of people tend to move around a lot when giving out presentations, and this is really common. I mean, most likely when you've done many projects in the past in other classes, you probably have leaned, moved around, or just couldn't stay in place. Now, this is again something really difficult for many people to do, me included, and some people do struggle to technically not move. Now, sometimes there are there are some exceptions, like if you're gonna move just to show off a certain picture on a PowerPoint or show a video, you will not be docked for points for that. So a good way to practice not leaning is just stand at your place, at your house, wherever. Just stand still for like at least maybe 10 minutes or so. And because most of your speeches pretty much might be 10 minutes or less. So it's probably a better idea to do that. Just remember, guys, you're not a falling building, and you're not a lazy person. You're not sitting on a chair when you're standing up. You're standing up, and you have to stay still, or else you're gonna lose some points. So keep that in mind. Now, this isn't really much of a problem. Usually you don't get docked points for this because obviously, students just tend to want to stay in the limit and, try to make sure their speech isn't, over the top or a little off the time limit. But the problem with this is that it tends to keep the student away from his or her speech, and it's better if you just try to focus on your speech and not really worry about the time. And sure, at the same time, if you just want to make sure that you have the right time, you get those credits for the time limit. But here's the issue: if you keep asking for the time in the middle of your speech, that kind of shows that you have not practiced your speech that much. Usually, Mr. Buckley will suggest or even recommend or highly just request that you guys practice your speeches before taking them on your speech day. Again, this will help you learn some time limit skills, and this will also help you just know your speech beforehand. So you get points for a fluent speech, and you also get points for a good time limit. So just remember, try not to ask too much about oh, what's my time right now, or something like that. So try to restrain from doing that. Obviously, it's a big habit. Trust me, a lot of students in the past have done this, and it's not just you guys. So if you're doing it now, try your best to stop doing it. This one's pretty straightforward. I'm not really going to talk about this too much. As you saw in the last number 2, I said a lot of ums and uhs. Try to avoid that as much as possible. It's something that a lot of people tend to do, and it just proves that you have not practiced what you're reading or writing. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, we will talk about disruptions. Disruption, when Mr. Buckley says put your phone away, he literally means put your phone away. This will really be a key thing for everyone. Like, anyone who's in the audience, you need to understand that Mr. Buckley will dock points for you if you're not listening, paying attention, or doing what you're supposed to do. This is something that some people just take with a grain of salt, because a lot of teachers do tend to say this, and they never go with their word. Mr. Buckley will go with his word. Like, this is not like something you can joke around with. Sometimes in between a speech, you could probably take like a 5-second break with your phone, but honestly, just keep it away at all times until the class is over. I mean, it's just a couple of speeches. They're humorous as is, so honestly, I don't know what you're bored about, really. Still nervous?
Don't be nervous. We'll still love you even if you mess up.
We are the Prodigy.